All right, lovers, thank you for all the subscribers. I've been doing this for like a month now, and I already have like 16 subscribers. To all of you who've subscribed to the channel, I love you all. It's so great to just be able to have a place to dork out about bikes. I'm definitely the kind of person that like wants to talk about bikes to everyone, and you're like, bro, you cannot do that. No one cares about the millimeter width of frickin' tires. No one cares about the internal width of a bicycle rim. They just want to ride these bitches. You know what I mean? So it's almost like being able to talk about it and make videos about it is a way to kind of get an outlet of just this extreme dorkiness. You know what I mean? So speaking of being a dork, let's talk about square taper bottom brackets and why I don't like them. I will frequently let people know, I'm very candid about it, I just will not ride on square taper bottom brackets anymore. All the experiences I've had on them have not been pleasant experiences. Some of the issues that I have is that they feel less stiff. I always will eventually feel some play in the, you always get play in the cranks. I feel they're more prone to debris. Now, there are two things that I think personally make it so that me and bottom brackets do not get along. First of all, I weigh more as a rider. I tend to be on the heavier side as a rider. When I got back into riding this last time, and I bought my Poseidon, which has a square taper bottom bracket, I was pushing 250 pounds. And at that weight, I think those are not good systems at the weight that I was. So I think they're prone to failure, or I'm not going to say failure, faster wear if you're a heavier rider, and they're prone to faster wear. Two things that make them prone to faster wear. The two things that I have to deal with is my weight, and number two is the fact that we have a lot of rain here, and a lot of oil and gunk and road debris gets into your bike parts. And if they're not well sealed, then you're going to get a lot of debris and grinding. And I just feel square tapers are more prone to that debris. If I lived in a climate that was more like Southern California, where I used to live, and not the Pacific Northwest, I think that issue would be mitigated a little bit. But the fact that I'm 250 pounds it's like two issues on top of it. And so I just don't think they're a good system. And as far as Hollowtechs, you know, I feel like overall they're a lighter system, but I'm not a weight weenie, so that's actually not what I care about. They are easier to install. The tools that you need, for me, I feel are easier to install. I feel they're stiffer. I feel I do not get play in them. The only play that I get from nowadays is in the pedals and not the cranks themselves, now that I've been riding the Hollowtech styles. So those are my biases. I did want to address, we got a G up in the comment section at Wilderness Music, Gentle and Serene. Okay, so I want to read what this person said on square tapers. Okay, on square tapers, I've ridden these for 55 years. So you always love that. As someone who doesn't know a lot about riding, I love hearing what people who have been riding for a long time, their views and their opinions. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to do everything they say. Some people have great advice that I will take. Some people have great advice that works just for them and not necessarily for me, right? But I love the fact that, honestly, this statement I felt like was very validated, very validating, because this is a pro square taper person. So when I read this, that he's been riding for 55 years, this person was riding when you didn't even have a choice. You had to make these work, right? So after riding them for 55 years, you know that this person has searched every angle. If this person is as big a biker dork as I am, because you know he is, because you know he's making a comment on my channel, right? So as big a biker dork as this guy is, you know that he has looked through thousands of products trying to find the right one, right? So you can just gangster his 55 years of experience and take that into account, right? Like, this man has tried tons of products. You can just tell. Okay, and I'm a 200-pound bodybuilder cyclist, so he weighs on the heavier side like me. But again, I'm 250, so that 50 pounds, it's not nothing. Okay, So here's was his recommendation. It needs to be a Shimano UN55, so you get all metal. Next, the threads. The threads need to be thoroughly cleaned and greased before install. The creaks come from dirt in the threads and plastic parts. He's correct about that. Then tighten very tight using a large wrench. Again, tools that I don't necessarily have. I just love the easy Hollowtech tool. But this is what he has done. Next, tapered cranks come loose with riding. So those little Allen bolts need to be retightened about every 400 miles. A simple 10-second check and tighten. I get about 20,000 miles out of this bottom bracket bearing before the play begins. Now, that is gangster. That is someone who has had to so you know that, and I also appreciate them because I know that they've had the similar problem that I've had, right? So they're addressing that they know I've had that problem. I love that comment because it really addresses the issue that I'm talking about. So there's a brilliant comment. It was long, I had to get through it, but brilliant comment nonetheless, because it really talks about the issues that I have with the bottom brackets. Now, I don't think square tapers are all bad. Again, like I'm saying, if you are in a climate where weather is not as big a deal, or you ride in better weather conditions and you avoid bad weather, and you're less than 200 pounds, again, like I would say probably 185 and below, you're not gonna have any problems. But you get to his weight, right, 200 and above, you're starting to have like issues. So it's even at 200, he had the issues that I had. So at 250, so honestly, so what I take away from this is, because he didn't have a choice, he had to hack a system that worked for him. And because he does a lot of bike maintenance, he gets a lot of miles on those bottom brackets. I don't have to do that much maintenance on a Hollowtech, right? Like I really don't. Number two, I'm gonna take it into the mechanic here and there and just tell him, hey, check out the bearings down there, like every year, but not every 400 miles. You know what I mean? Like I ain't taking it I don't need to take it in every 400 miles. So there you go. It's like that is validating and lets me know, okay, like my instincts about the fact that these square tapers don't necessarily work for me is very on point. And this gentleman's or this person, I don't know, this person's comment really let me know, okay, you know, unless you're willing to do a ton of maintenance and get a specific type of square taper, it's not necessarily the best system. So I would just say, honestly, if you have a square taper on your bike, just ride on it. You don't need to change it out really quickly. It's just that I've been riding long enough to be very specific and know that I don't like them. So thank you for the comment, Wilderness Music. I really appreciate that. And thank you, because I